Hey guys, Vin Deysel from Bounce Online, and today I'm about to test something I've waited very long to test. Okay, not that long because it's actually quite new, so it's not that I haven't waited that long. But anyways, it's long enough because I've been waiting for one so that I can actually test this one. And it's this. It's the Shure MV7 podcast microphone. The Shure MV7 podcast microphone has been designed around Shure's legendary SM7B. And as you can see, it looks similar to its big daddy, the SM7B. This is a rock-solid USB XLR dynamic microphone. On the rear, it has the XLR output, USB connection, and headphone output. You can connect the MV7 by using the XLR output to your sound card, or you can connect it via the USB cable connection. Monitoring via the headphone output on the MV7 can only be done when connected to your computer via USB, and you would need to monitor via your sound card if connected with the XLR output. Firstly, you'll need to download the Shure Plus Motive app for Mac or Windows. Now, when connecting the MV7 via USB, you will see the unit's lights switch on, and it will connect to the app when opened. Now, on the mic, it has a swipe-sensitive strip, which, when green, means you can adjust the mic volume level. And by touching the little mic and headphone button on the side, you can change between the mic and headphone volumes, like this. Now, if you hold the button in, now this means that you can adjust your monitor mix. So whatever you're hearing in your headphones, your microphone, and what's playing back from the computer. You'll also see on the other side that there is a mic mute switch, which when touched, mutes the microphone. As simple as that. So now, moving on to the app. So in the Shure Plus Motive app, you've got two settings. You've got the auto level and you've got manual. Let's have a look at auto level. So auto level is exactly that. It does everything automatically. It just will change the level. But now you've got a few different settings in auto level. You have your presets. Obviously, you can save and manage different presets with different compression and different monitoring level, etc. Then, of course, you've got your mic mute button, which you can then just mute the microphone from the app. And of course, you've got your mic and playback monitor mix over there. You don't have a volume control for your mic volume because obviously it's auto level. Now you've also got a mic position. So as you can see by the picture over here, you've got near and far. So obviously I'm near right now. If I move further away, you can obviously hear that I disappear slightly. And if I change to far, it'll automatically adjust the level to go to a slightly higher level so that it will sound good, right? So let's change it back to near. And now it's on near. That's how simple this app actually is. It's really cool. Now you also have three different tone settings. You've got natural, which is on right now. And then of course you've got dark, which as you can hear, it just changed. It's kind of almost nasally and a bit, how do you say it? It takes away almost, it boosts the lower mids, I think. It kind of sounds very like muddy and like bleh. And then of course you've got the bright setting, which obviously boosts the tops like crazy, and it actually doesn't sound too bad, but I think I prefer the natural setting on the auto level functions. Now, if we go and have a look at the manual, you can hear my volume all of a sudden change slightly, and you will see there's also the preset functions. So you can obviously adjust more presets over here, save them, and bring them back as and if and when you need to. Then again, you've got your mic mute function. You then have your mic volume, which obviously auto level did not have. So you can obviously adjust your level by taking it down over here now and taking it back up all the way up or back down to 24. I found that 24 dBs is kind of like a nice level. Then you've got your monitor mix between your mic and your playback over here. And then you've got your EQ. So these EQs are modeled on the Shure SM7B. So obviously this is the flat EQ and this is what it sounds like. This is now the high pass filter, which obviously cuts a little bit of the lows, and that's what it sounds like on high pass. Then over here we have the presence boost, and this is what the presence boost sounds like, obviously boosting the tops quite nicely, and you can hear it sounds nice and trebly and nice and full and just sounds nice, right? Then you've got this one over here, which is the high pass and presence boost. So it's obviously going to cut the lows and boost the tops, and it's going to make it sound very cool. So let's go back to the flat setting. Then, of course, you have a limiter. From what I've tested out, it doesn't seem to work that well. Even if you shout and you distort the mic, it still kind of distorts, but it brings the volume down a little bit, so it doesn't limit as much, but it doesn't work too great. I would avoid limiting at all costs and rather just leave the limiter off. Then, of course, you've got your compressor settings over here, which is really cool. Now, at the moment, it is off, and this is what it sounds like. Then, of course, you can go to light, and this is what the light compression setting sounds like. Then you can go to medium, and this is what the medium setting compression sounds like. And then, of course, you can go to heavy, which that's what the heavy compression settings sound like. Now, a lot of podcasters want that old school radio kind of sound where it's like compressed and the tops are boosted and all that kind of stuff. You could go then to the presence boost, click on that, and it will boost the highs immediately. And it's obviously compressing like a beast now in heavy mode. And not that I sound like a radio presenter now, but it's got that similar old school radio broadcast sound, if that makes sense. But I kind of feel like the medium with a bit of presence boost is a really, really nice setting, especially for podcasters and for gamers and streamers. This is really nice because even if you move a little bit away from the microphone and you like talking really loudly, it still comes across really nicely and it sounds really great on this microphone. And as you can hear, every now and again, it still does pop a bit. This pop filter doesn't really help that much. But proximity effect, you get closer to the microphone and that's how it sounds, and you pull away from the microphone and that's how it sounds. This is probably a nice distance away, and obviously if you're talking over it, you're not going to get as much popping and air noise going into the capsule, which is really cool. So now let me tell you another cool function of this Shure MV7 mic. It is a USB and XLR mic, like I've mentioned before, but here's the kicker. You can actually use both outputs at the same time. So, for example, if you are recording a podcast or a voiceover and you're going into your computer and you don't trust your computer, it crashes a lot for some reason, and you want to record a backup, get yourself a portable recorder and you take the XLR output, you plug the XLR straight into the portable recorder, and it will record whatever you're doing on the XLR through into that portable recorder, which is a really cool function. I haven't seen many USB and XLR dynamic mics or even condenser mics with that kind of a feature. It is really, really a cool feature. Okay, so what are my overall thoughts on this microphone? I like it. I like this mic a lot. I've always been a fan of the Shure SM7B, and I'm becoming a real big fan of this little podcast microphone. It is pretty much almost half the price of a Shure SM7B, and it's just so damn good. And you've got USB, and you've got XLR output, and you've got zero latency monitoring, and it sounds good, and it looks cool, and it's just awesome. And I'm sorry, Shure, but you're not getting this one back. This one's staying in my studio, okay? Ooh, one more thing. If you want to hear what the Shure MV7 podcast mic sounds like in a radio style podcast kind of vibe, go and take a listen to the VinMix EP4, the VinMix Live EP4. I used this microphone to record it while I was having it here as a demo, and I actually think it sounds really, really cool. I'll post the link below. It's a 1 hour mix, DJ mix with a couple of like talking bits over. Go and take a listen. I'll post the link down below, okay? Why am I doing this? It's just weird. Stop it. Now, if you also want one of these Shure MV7 podcast microphones with USB and XLR output with the zero latency monitoring, go to bounceonline.co.za right now and order yours before we don't have any more stock, because stock is flying. And of course, if you want to know more information, you can just hit us up via email at bounceme@bounceonline.co.za.